Hello and welcome back to the Entertainment Fix. It is an all HBO episode today as some teasers for a few highly anticipated shows dropped last night ahead of the House of the Dragon finale. We're taking a look at the next Game of Thrones spinoff, a new Stephen King show that may involve sewer clowns, and last but not least, Season 2 of The Last of Us gets its first teaser. Let's get into it. The Last of Us Season 2 got its first proper teaser last night. The footage was short, but looks like the new season is really going to focus on Pedro Pascal's Joel, gripping with the aftermath of the Season 1 finale. Spoilers ahead for The Last of Us, both the show and the game, so consider yourself warned. At the end of Season 1, Joel finally gets Ellie to her destination, a Firefly hospital where the two hope the Fireflies have the resources to help Ellie deal with her infection, an infection that she is miraculously contained when everybody else who is infected turns into a mushroom zombie. You probably already knew that part. The whole setup, though, turns out to be not what Joel thought it was, and he ends up killing pretty much every Firefly in that hospital to get an unconscious Ellie out. The Season 1 finale ends with Ellie and Joel driving away and Ellie waking up and thinking the procedure just didn't work, and maybe not realizing that Joel just committed mass murder to save her. So in the new footage, we see a lot of familiar elements from The Last of Us Part 2. The big town party where Ellie and Dina become an item, Ellie's new tattoo on her infected arm, or rather not infected, would appear to be a couple of seraphites or scars running through the woods, and Jeffrey Wright returning to his role from the game, Isaac Dixon, the leader of the militant WLF group, also called the Wolves. Oh, and there seems to be a very quick shot of Caitlin Dever as Abby in a very dangerous situation, and I think we are all dying to know how ripped Dever got for the role, because really you can't be Abby unless you are hella ripped. And of course, there's Catherine O'Hara in an undisclosed role. She might be sharing quite a bit of screen time with Pascal, as evidenced by the intense convo these two are having in the teaser. The Last of Us Season 2 looks like it's staying pretty close to the second game, and that sounds great by us since we and pretty much every other major outlet gave that game a very glowing review, though obviously it's been divisive for some folks. There's no release date yet, but HBO did give a vague 2025 release window, which gives you plenty of time to play or replay the sequel so you are appropriately prepared for all of the emotional gut punches and other blunt force impact trauma coming your way on the show whenever it does premiere. Keeping the HBO party going and working as a tie-in to last night's Dragon season finale, we also got a teaser for A Knight of the Seven Kingdoms, The Hedge Knight. This new show is another spin-off of Game of Thrones and yet another prequel, but if the novellas are any indication, we're probably going to get a very different kind of vibe from this series. A Knight of the Seven Kingdoms is a series of novellas that follow Dunk and Egg, or Sir Duncan the Tall, and his squire Aegon, who, if you haven't guessed by the name, is a Targaryen. The two go on a bunch of adventures all over Westeros, mostly engaging with minor lords and small folk of the kingdom. As for the official logline, the show is being described as, quote, a young, naive, but courageous knight, Sir Duncan the Tall, and his diminutive squire Egg, set in an age when the Targaryen line still holds the Iron Throne, and the memory of the last dragon has not yet passed from living memory. Great destinies, powerful foes, and dangerous exploits all await these improbable and incomparable friends. The books aren't quite as serious as the main series, and fans have taken to comparing it to the popular Lone Wolf and Cub manga series about a wandering Ronin and his young son. And as evidenced by the show's subtitle, The Hedge Knight looks like the first season is going to adapt the first novella of the same name. Sir Duncan will be played by Peter Claffey, and Egg is portrayed by Dexter Saul Ansel. It'll debut on Max in 2025, and hopefully it'll make waiting for House of the Dragon Season 3 just a little bit more bearable. And finally, HBO gave us a teaser for the upcoming It prequel series, Welcome to Derry. Taking place in the same continuity as the recent It movies, the show will chronicle the weird goings-on in the spooky Maine town of Derry. Stephen King fans will no doubt recognize the town as not only the setting of It, but the locale has also made appearances in other King stories, including Insomnia and Dreamcatcher, and is referenced in even more works like Gerald's Game and Misery. It Chapters 1 and 2 director Andy Muschietti is returning to helm a few episodes, and reportedly Bill Skärsgard is going to make an appearance or two as Pennywise. It Welcome to Derry will debut sometime in 2025. I feel like we've been hearing about this show for ages, though I might be confusing it with the Hulu show Castle Rock, which was about another spooky Stephen King town, and Bill Skärsgard was in that, but he didn't play Pennywise, and I might also be thinking of the Netflix show Derry Girls, which to my knowledge has no connection to Stephen King's multiverse of bad stuff that happens in Maine sometimes, and I don't think there's anything living in the sewer in that show, but I don't know, I haven't seen it. Those are your entertainment stories for today, August 5th. Now that we have to go through House of the Dragon withdrawal, I guess we can all cope by discussing that finale. What did you think? Let us know in the comments below, and if you're looking for something else to watch, check out this video on a whole bunch of changes that they made to the House of the Dragon show from the book Fire and Blood. I'm Max Scoville. I'll see you later.